Hi, I'm Perry Black right here at Second Chance Youth Ranch TV, and you don't want to miss this show. Our special guest, Anna Bowman, with DOXA and Fostering the Arts. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. Hey, welcome to Second Chance Youth Ranch TV. I'm your host, Perry Black, and we have a very special guest on this show. Some of you may know her, Anna Bowman. And Anna, you have a ministry called?
Fostering the Arts.
Fostering the Arts, and somebody calls it DOXA.
Yes, so DOXA Arts Academy is my studio where we teach dance and gymnastics and art and music, all with a faith-based program. And then Fostering the Arts is the nonprofit sister company to that. So
we're going to talk more about how people can support that, because I've had at least one granddaughter involved in that, and several of our students from Second Chance Ranch involved in that, and many foster children are involved in that, along with students in the communities here. So we want to talk about that here in a little bit, but let me talk about you, because you know, in the words of the old country singer, let me talk about me, but I'd rather talk about you. So tell me, where did you grow up?
I am a native Saline County resident.
You're a
Grew up in Bryant.
Yeah. Did you go to school in Saline County then?
Yes, graduated from Bryant High School in 1995.
1995, and I know y'all are doing the math right now, trying to figure out how young you are.
I am old.
But now, some people may know you and not even know they know you, because your dad was the Colonel.
Yes, Director of the State Police.
Of the State Police back in the 90s?
Yes. I don't remember what year. I think it was around the year I graduated.
And your dad's name is?
John Bailey.
John Bailey. So a lot of people know Colonel Bailey.
Yes.
And a lot of people in the spirit field, or even the Assembly of God circles, know him because he ministers the Word of God and has for many decades, hadn't he?
Yes, definitely.
And so tell me a little bit about you. Did you go to college?
I did. I went to UALR.
Let me guess. Did you major in drama or dance or theater or history?
I probably should have majored in art. If I had it to do it over again, I probably would major in art. But I got a degree in marketing, and I minored in dance.
And so how did Fostering the Arts come about?
I had a studio years ago and sold it, started a family, and God opened the door to start another one about 5 years ago, and He just impressed on my heart to reach out to the girls at Second Chance Ranch and offer dance lessons for free. And so that was kind of my introduction to the foster community, and I didn't know very much, and my eyes were opened really quickly. And through my interaction with those girls, Fostering the Arts was born.
And there are a lot of other divine connections that we want to talk about, but Fostering the Arts has been around only 5 years?
Yes.
Gosh, does it seem longer? It does to me.
Sometimes, yes, sometimes it does.
I'm surprised. I figured y'all been around about 8 or 9 years, just based on my granddaughter's involvement and our foster children's involvement.
You can do a lot in 5 years.
Yes, you can. And you've impacted through that ministry. How many young people do you think have come through Fostering the Arts?
I would
more
say
than 100?
I would say probably right around 100.
Yeah. And young men and young ladies, y'all do drama, art, dance, gymnastics.
Yes.
And it's all faith-based.
Yes.
And the thing that I appreciated about it so much as a pastor, father, and a grandfather is that even the music you do is worshipful.
Yes, yeah. Our vision is to teach kids that, you know, God gave you a certain set of skills. Everybody has some sort of talent that He's given you, and to take that talent, whatever it is, to use for His purpose, His glory, and to use it in a God-fearing way.
And through the arts, don't want to go negative, but sometimes the arts have been stolen by the world and the world system, or even the God of this world.
Right.
And I have seen in my lifetime very gifted by God people in the local church, and the world draws them their way and steals the gift that should have been used to glorify God and it gets twisted and or perverted.
Yes.
And so fostering the arts is so important. But we mentioned something in passing a while ago, your family. Tell me about your family, you, your husband. How did you meet?
So Brad and I met in high school, but actually our pastors introduced us, I guess when we were about 16 years old.
And who is your pastor?
John and Sandra Tracy at Otter Creek Assembly.
So anyone in this whole area of Otter Creek, Church Alive's worth the drive. I know Pastor John, tremendous guy, and doing a great work there at Otter Creek. And but when y'all were in high school, which was more than a day or two ago.
Yeah, just a few days.
Back in the 90s, he and his wife were instrumental in introducing you and Brad, your husband.
Yes.
And then you said, how long later did y'all start dating?
About a year after that first introduction.
You would have been about 17 then?
Yes, we were 17.
And then how long did it transpire before ultimately you asked Brad to marry you? Or he asked you?
We got engaged at 19.
At 19?
Yes.
And how old were you when you walked the aisle?
21.
21.
Yeah.
So you've been married how long now?
This month will be 22 years.
22 years. So I guess then you probably have a child?
Or two, or five.
Or three, or five. So tell us about that. How old are your children?
Our oldest is 19.
And their name?
Christina.
Oh, I know Christina.
She's our newest addition to the family.
So
yes.
we'll talk more. We got 1 minute in this segment, so let's talk about the other children besides Christina, and then the audience will wonder, well, why are we not talking about Christina? So the other children?
Corley's 13.
13.
Cash is 12. Karis will be 10 next month, and then Cedar is 6.
And they attend school somewhere, or do you homeschool?
They're homeschooled.
Homeschooled. Gosh, so a lot of people out there are homeschooling, especially with this COVID issue going around. So that means you're a part of the homeschool affiliation or association.
Yes.
A lot of people have questions about that and about DOXA, so that information will be on the screen. But we're going to come back in our next segment and talk a little bit more about your children, your family, your ministry, and, remember that young lady, Christina, that I mentioned, your oldest daughter.
Yes.
Wonder why that's an interesting thing that we want to talk about. So I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to take a brief break, and we'll come back, and we'll let you know, so don't go away.
A mission field around you is filled with young hearts needing a forever family. And at Second Chance Youth Ranch, our team is committed to providing healthy, stable, loving homes and families to hurting children in the Arkansas foster care system and those up for adoption. Please contact us if you feel the tug at your heart to help foster or adopt, and find out the steps you could take to help fulfill a child's lifelong dream. Maybe you can't foster or adopt, but you could help. The need for thousands of children in the system is staggering. But with the help of faithful partners and business alliances, we are meeting those needs right now. Would you help us make a difference? Every gift, regardless of size, impacts a child's life directly and helps provide for a home in the gap right now. Visit the Second Chance Youth Ranch website at 2CYR.org to read more, watch the stories, and to make a contribution for a hurting child's care. Monthly partners are needed, so please contact us right away. And as you partner with this ministry, you are partnering with the Heavenly Father that has promised to be Father to the fatherless. God bless you for helping Second Chance Youth Ranch.
Hey, welcome back to Second Chance Youth Ranch TV. We are with Anna Bowman with Fostering the Arts and DOXA, a ministry of the arts.
Yes.
Now, we left the audience hanging on the edge of their beds because this airs at 11 p.m., so they're sitting there going, I can't go to sleep. He mentioned something about a young lady that's 19 years old. So tell us, what about Christina? How does this young lady, Christina, why is that an issue, and how does Fostering the Arts, ministering to foster children for the past 5 years, how did that impact your family, and how does Christina fit in this puzzle that I have woven here on this set?
I met Christina through that first interaction with the girls at the ranch.
At Second Chance Youth Ranch?
She was one of the first groups to come take dance lessons from us, and so that was almost 5 years ago.
She would have been 14 years old.
Yep. And this last March, it was a year ago this March, she moved into our house and joined our family.
March of 19?
2019.
So 2019, she moved into your family. One of our young ladies from the ranch became a part of your forever family.
Yes, and she just recently this summer got the go-ahead to change her name. So she's a Bowman.
So she is officially adopted, right?
Well, she will be by the time she's 21.
Wow, that is amazing.
Yeah.
So let me ask you, because this show is really designed to keep fostering, mentoring, and adoption in the forefront of our viewers of the Victory Television Network all over the state and surrounding viewing audience states. So tell me, how was the adoption process? Did someone walk you through that? Did you work with an organization or directly with DHS, DCFS?
It's a little bit of both. She lived at the ranch, and so we worked with the staff there to move forward with what our plans were. And Christina's situation was a little bit unique because she was already 18, and so technically was aging out of the foster care program.
All right, so let me ask you a question. I warned you I'd interrupt. Why in the world would you adopt an 18-year-old adult?
So
what's the need of an 18-year-old foster child?
I don't know if you know what you were like at 18.
Oh, well, we won't talk about that.
But I know what I was like at 18. I still very much needed my parents. And
she did too.
Yes. Yeah. Everybody needs a family to belong to. I don't care if you're 40 or 2 or 100. We all need a support network.
And when you said 100, why'd you look over here?
No offense. But yeah, that was our heart. We loved her. We already had a relationship with her. She'd been spending weekends with us for a while, and just had loved her in the way that she would allow us to. And then
how long did y'all do just the weekend mentoring, getting to know her before you took the first step of the official adoption process?
It was a couple of years process.
So you didn't just jump in there just willy-nilly?
No, and you can't, because that's a big decision for a young lady. And I think there was some push-pull with her. She wanted to, and then she wasn't really sure, and she investigated other adoptive options, and we just kind of waited on the Lord really to move.
Well, and a lot of young people have a real concern about starting the process and it not working out or failing or disappointing.
Yes,
Any of that fit y'all in your situation?
She had been through a failed adoption,
yeah,
and it was pretty traumatic. Yeah. And she had siblings that were adopted into another family, and she chose not to go. And so I know that there was some things that she was working through with that, and I think the timing was right last year, and she was very courageous and brave and just decided to jump.
At what point did you took the leap? After about 2 years, almost 2 years? And were the staff at Second Chance Youth Ranch, that's Billy and Rachel Hubbard, our daily operations director, were they supportive and kind of walk you through some of the obstacles and hurdles?
Yes, very. They were very supportive.
Have you needed some sort of support network since the adoption process really started?
Yes. I did not know anything about the process with DHS, and so the staff at the ranch has been pretty informative. Her house parent, that had been her house parent forever, Misty, she was very helpful. She was actually instrumental in helping me form Fostering the Arts, so that relationship was key. Because she knew Christina really well, and they were just very, very helpful.
So you had a support network. Now, when did you say that she will officially become a Bowman?
She has changed her name officially. So she's officially, legally, on a birth certificate and Social Security and all that, she's a Bowman.
Where is she at now? Because she graduated Arkansas Christian Academy.
Yes, she
right
graduated
here
this
in
May.
Bryan. And a tremendous student, and I've had the privilege of watching her over the years grow into a beautiful young lady.
Yes.
I would say, as speaking from my perspective, a well-adjusted Christ-centered, loving young lady.
Yes.
And I know your home is a Christ-centered home. And I've seen her dance. I've seen her graduate our school. Where is she now? Is she pursuing a professional career education or what?
She is registered at Pulaski Tech's Culinary Arts School, and so she's looking forward to starting that in August. And
she's looking to be a chef?
Yeah, sous
Is there,
chef.
now there's chefs, I guess chefs do several different kinds of specialties. Is she focusing on anything particular?
She's in the cooking line. They have a baking and a cooking, and so she's on the cooking side, but I don't know, she kind of likes to bake too. Maybe she'll do both.
Yeah, well, sounds like good. Maybe we should have had her on the set and have her come in and give
definitely
us some,
should have her come.
samples. We're going to come back here in a moment and talk about your ministry, Fostering the Arts, and how people can support that, and how you're utilizing that gift, not just through children at Second Chance Youth Ranch, but foster care and young people in the state of Arkansas.
Yes.
So we're going to take a brief break and we'll be right back.
The benefits of a quality arts education have been known for centuries. Benjamin Franklin once described the arts as an essential component of what he believed to be the ideal education. And by the middle of the 19th century, the arts were included in nearly all American public schools. However, over the last decade, that trend has reversed. Severe budget cuts have forced school districts to limit and/or eliminate arts programs altogether in lieu of focusing toward common core subjects like math, science, and reading.
Well, I think financially, educators sit down, and when they start to map out a child's education, they think, okay, we need to be able to read and write. Then we need to be able to add, subtract, multiply, and divide, and then anything outside of that is extra. We have two hemispheres of our brain. One is dedicated to logic and is analytical, and the other side is creative and emotional. And so when we cut out fine arts programs from schools, we're cutting out the opportunity for children to be able to use that other side of their brain, the creative thinking side, the side that helps them problem solve, and the side that is emotional and expressive that helps each other understand each other.
Because of this shift of focus in the school systems, the arts have become only a luxury for many kids. Fostering the Arts wants to change this by providing opportunities for all children from all backgrounds to experience the life-changing influences of the arts.
I love art because of the ability to express what I'm feeling, or the ability to just let go of whatever's bothering me at the time and just paint.
I dance because it brings emotion, and I feel like no matter what happened that day or what I'm afraid of or anything like that, that it just goes away when I start dancing.
I like playing the guitar because it's fun. If somebody took the guitar away from me, I would not feel very good.
The goal of Fostering the Arts is to eliminate the financial burden for any child seeking the opportunity to take lessons in the arts, whether that be music or dance or art or acting or gymnastics, whatever it is, we want to relieve that financial burden.
Students and parents who are interested in being considered for a scholarship are encouraged to visit fosterarts.org to apply.
Scholarships are available to any child in need, whether that be a child in foster care or a child from a low-income family or a child from a single-parent household, or even a child who has multiple siblings and the cost is just too much for their parents. When you have a child that's been given something that was formerly out of their reach, they go through a transformation. And so the first thing that you notice is that their confidence skyrockets, and then they begin to hope and dream about what their future holds. And we all know that God has great things for each and every one of us, and so to be able to witness that transformation is an absolute privilege.
It's like a feeling of wholeness, like I can do anything in that moment.
I'm able to be creative and use the gifts that God has given me.
It makes me feel happy.
The arts, they add color and life to our culture, and by donating to Fostering the Arts, you're ensuring that that color and life that we see every day will continue for generations.
Help save the arts. Become a vital partner with Fostering the Arts and donate today. Donations go towards purchasing items like shoes, dancewear, art supplies, and instruments for scholarship children.
Welcome back. Our guest on this program is Anna Bowman with Fostering the Arts, and I keep mentioning DOXA. So can you clarify for me,
Yes.
for the third time, what's the difference between DOXA and Fostering the Arts?
So DOXA Arts Academy is my studio, and that is.
And where is that located?
It's in Benton, off of Salem Road.
You have a phone number?
501-413-0864.
And I suspect you have a website?
Yes, DOXAArtsAcademy.com.
DOXA? DOXA?
Artsacademy.com.
Artsacademy.com. And that information is probably on the screen there somewhere. And what about Fostering the Arts?
So Fostering the Arts is the nonprofit organization that I run. It's completely separate from DOXA. And I did that because I wanted to make sure that we could scholarship children to any program in the state. You know, if I did it through DOXA, people would think that I only scholarship students to my program. And
so you're not trying to just scholarship, is it a scholarship for foster children only?
No.
No.
It is for foster children and for any low-income student. So we have an application for non-foster children to apply for scholarship on our website, and it's based on need. And
so if they live somewhere
funds
other
available.
than Saline County, excuse me, or even Central Arkansas, they can apply.
Yes, yes,
And so you have some information on that?
yes. The website is fosterarts.org, and the application is on our website. You just download it and mail it in.
And why the arts? Let's talk about that a little bit more. Why Fostering the Arts? And can you give me an idea when you answer the why question, how many foster children at any given period of time do you typically have in your studio? Because I've been to those recitals and I go, hey, I know that one.
Yeah.
Oh, look, there's one. I know them.
would say 15 to 20 foster children in our studio. With our student base, there's about 30% of our student base is scholarship.
And what is the cost for, tell me, is it a period of time? Because y'all do rehearsals.
Usually
and
most
then
of the programs are seasonal, like run with the school year. And we say an approximate cost for one student to take lessons for an entire year is $500.
$500. Does that $500 include their costume for the recitals?
Yes.
And I can tell you firsthand, my granddaughter has been involved in DOXA now maybe for 4 years. And she's very quiet.
Yes.
She takes after somebody other than me. She's kind of the shyer type, but I have watched her.
She's precious.
Become a beautiful dancer.
Yes, I love her.
And expressing her faith through the arts.
Yeah. Now you're going to make me cry.
Yeah. Well, and that's why we do what we do. Because this is not a profession to us. Right. This is a gifting that God's given us, a calling.
Yeah.
And to be able to impart that into young people. And as a former youth pastor and a pastor still greatly involved in the youth culture, in my former youth ministries where I couldn't get a teenager to do anything in front of 10 or 20 or 100 or 150 teenagers. You give them a dramatic skit or a puppet or an opportunity to present, and I'm like, I don't even know that student.
Yes.
They've been in my department for 3 years, and now look, they get up and they take on a character and they bloom, they blossom.
Yes. And think about a foster child who's been through trauma, who has had hard things that most adults don't even face. to be able to get on the stage and work through some of those emotions and walk off the stage and know that they've done something that they could be proud of.
And applause,
yes.
and ovations.
I mean, some of them conquer major social anxiety just to get up there.
Yeah.
And just to be able to see their hearts open up and their minds open up, they start to dream again. And I think that's something that has really stood out to me with the children in foster care. They stop planning for the future. They stop dreaming about what life can be like. And so, you know, giving them an alternate way to express themselves can help open that back up.
So anyone in the Central Arkansas area certainly could attend the Fostering the Arts in Benton.
Yes.
And they can contact your office or your website and get more information on how they can do that. And so I want to really encourage you, if you have a young person that's maybe introverted or like me, an extrovert. You know, I hated writing book reports, but man, the teachers say, come up here and give an oral book report. And I'm like, sign me up. And that's what preachers are. We're just walking book reports. So if you have someone involved or has an interest in the arts, now there's dance. Let's recoup real quick. We've got about a minute and a half. There's dance.
Dance, gymnastics.
Gymnastics.
Music.
Music.
And art.
And art. Now, when you say art, my wife was an art major. You're talking about
painting, drawing, pottery, the whole 9 yards.
So we're talking about oil painting and everything.
Yes. Yeah.
Acrylics, charcoal.
Yes.
Pencil.
She should come teach a class.
Yeah. Well, see, art was one of my favorite subjects. It's only second to PE. So if you're interested or have a foster child or you're low income and want to get your child maybe off the streets or off the electronics, contact Anna at Fostering the Arts and or DOXA.
Right.
And see how you can get them involved. And what a great ministry to support indirectly foster children and young people of maybe a lower income bracket that need assistance. What a great opportunity. So the information has probably been on the screen numerous times, but why not support them? And while you're at it and while you're praying, go ahead and pray for Second Chance Youth Ranch. Our website, I believe, is 2CYR.org. And pray for us right here at Second Chance Youth Ranch TV as we are continually encouraging you, moms and dads and grandparents, to be involved and be engaged in mentoring, fostering, adopting, and getting your church involved in making a difference in foster care in the VTN viewing area. God bless you. We'll see you next time right here at Second Chance Youth Ranch TV. Bye-bye.